Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Nerd and Proud of It, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to talk about the impossible. Wizards of the Coast has apologized to the DnD community. They never apologized to the Magic community before. Makes me a bit jealous, I have to admit that. First, before we dive into the conversation, I have to take a breath because I'm so pumped up, but I also want to thank you, the viewer, for being here. And of course, I want to thank my subs and my Patreons. It's with your support that this channel is and can stay independent, and I can say whatever the fuck I want here, and I really appreciate that. Alright folks, Wizards of the Coast wants to talk about the path forward, so I'm gonna talk about the path forward. Before we click on the link in this tweet on the Dungeons and Dragons Twitter account, I strongly encourage you to read the answers people left under the tweet here. Somebody wants to play Pathfinder from now on. A lot of people say like, yeah, you better not change that open gaming license, because otherwise we're gonna stop. And there are numbers out there at the moment that about 40,000, yes folks, you heard correctly, 40,000 Dungeons and Dragons players have cancelled their subscription to the digital service Wizards of the Coast offers. That's $30 a month, right? That's 40,000 people. That's $120,000 they are losing every month from now on. So that's crazy, and I think that's quite a statement. And that's why Wizards of the Coast apologizes. Finally, they did it. Again, they never apologized for the 30th anniversary disaster in Magic the Gathering. I think they should. The only thing they said is, yeah, we heard your feedback, so we adjusted the numbers and lowered the print run. Fuck off. You should have apologized, and I expect an apology, because apparently you can do it. And it seems that the Dungeons and Dragons community is much stronger than we are, than the Magic the Gathering community is. And I hate that, because I thought we were all doing a good job, and I think we're still doing a good job by not buying Wizards of the Coast products, by not buying the 30th anniversary edition, and by speaking out against it. We did fine, folks. We did okay, but Dungeons and Dragons hit them where it hurt them, and that was their wallet. And these subscription services, those are actually valued very, very highly. So a monthly constant revenue is something every company wants, because they can calculate with that. And if you take that away from them, apparently it hurts them. Okay, let's have a look at the apology. If you can call it an apology, but that's a different story. It's by Kyle Brink. Hi, I'm Kyle Brink, the executive producer on Dungeons and Dragons. It's my team that makes the game we all play. I heard that Kyle was working for Wizards of the Coast as an executive producer for only 3 months, but let's have a look at his LinkedIn. Kyle seems like a nice guy, and he has already been working for Wizards of the Coast for 2 years, and he's actually an it's a difficult word for me, an executive producer for about 7 months. And it seems to me that this answer has not been written by Kyle. Yeah, he says, first though, let me start with my apology. We are sorry, we got it wrong. Very nice. They are talking about the draft OGL, so they're still calling it a draft. That, if you don't remember, that was the lie they used when the documents leaked. They said, yeah, it's a draft. We first wanted to have your feedback, and we would have changed it anyway. No, they wouldn't. But that's okay. A whole thing, you can read it for yourselves. You can read it here on the screen, or just go to the Dungeons and Dragons page. I won't read it out aloud too much, but basically it says that when moving forward, they will consider the feedback from the Dungeons and Dragons community. But yeah, it feels like shady lies still, and it seems that they just say what everybody wants to hear, and the Dungeons and Dragons community, of course, is seeing through that, and that's why you saw the negative feedback and the very strict feedback, like, yeah, no wiggle room on Twitter just a minute before. It's crazy to me that a company like this can make such bad decisions and then backpedal, but still throw poor Kyle under the bus, who clearly loves Dungeons and Dragons. He mentions it here in the letter or in the message as well, that he does love Dungeons and Dragons. If you are interested in more detailed content, I strongly recommend this guy here. D&D Shorts, as you see, I subscribed. I am interested in what he has to say, and I think he's he's after something, but he of course does that in a very nice and investigative way. He apparently is in contact with Wizards of the Coast employees, which makes his content very interesting, and he talks about all these things that are going on in the D&D community in detail. So yeah, folks, I'm gonna leave it to this for today. I think it's crazy that Wizards of the Coast actually can apologize, but doesn't want to the Magic community. I'm not happy about that. I'm happy for the D&D community, really happy. And as you know, I play D&D as well, and I like D&D, and I like the books and the lore and Dragonlance and Dungeons and Dragons in general, but Forgotten Realms as well, with the Dark Elf Saga and so on and so on. So I consider myself part of the D&D community. I didn't have a subscription I could cancel, but still, I think it's great they achieved what they achieved, and I think we as a Magic the Gathering community also did a great job in pushing back against things we didn't like, especially the 30th anniversary edition and the constant stream of products. Crazy stream of releases. It's we can't keep up anymore, and Wizards of the Coast apparently can act, even though they throw poor Kyle under the bus as a scapegoat. But okay, they did something. It's at least something. It's a sign that they hear what's going on and see what's going on. I'm not saying they reacted the correct way, but they reacted in a way that it at least shows they are not made of stone. They are made of greed. But okay, that's a different story. Folks, stay healthy, stay frosty, have a great weekend. Thanks a lot for listening, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.